Hey Wild Tree! Okay, so we are about to embark upon our second week of relaunching or launching our businesses, and we are going to move now from L1, where we were really building belief in not only the products and using them in our everyday use life, and starting to share them with people on social media and build belief in ourselves through some growth and development training and videos, and learning about personal development and growing our minds through audiobooks and books. We're now going to move into L2 or level 2, which is focused around the strategy and the skills that you need in order to grow a really successful business. So this week we are going to focus on building those skills for communication and sharing, and it first starts with kind of understanding what is the strategy that we need to have in order to build a direct sales business. And many of you might be from different backgrounds. Maybe you come from a corporate sales background, or maybe you come from maybe education or a different field, and direct sales is new to you. So I want to give you kind of like a quick overview of the strategy for how you really grow a really big successful business in direct sales. So this isn't just Wild Tree, but of course it applies to Wild Tree. So I want you to get a fresh sheet of paper and follow along and kind of draw a visual for yourself. And I could give you the visual, yes, absolutely, but I think it means more when you draw it along with me. So we are going to draw a tree, and this analogy works really well for Wild Tree, but we are going to draw a tree. And when you think of drawing a really robust, thick tree that's going to last the years and legacy and be passed down after generation after generation, a really strong tree needs a really solid root system, okay? So if you start by drawing kind of like almost like an upside down tree with like lots of deep roots, okay? Now the deep roots, what are the deep roots in our Wild Tree business? It's that L1 and that L2. It's building those strong skills and strategy, and also building belief in yourself and in the company through those seeds of success, which are using the products, sharing the opportunity on a daily basis, and growing yourself personally and professionally, okay? So you're gonna build solid root foundation through planting those daily seeds, the use, share, grow. You also are going to have those solid foundational skills by learning to work with your mentor, to allow her to teach you the mistakes that she's made so that she can shorten the learning curve for you, and to stay plugged in with the opportunities and events that are available to you. So that's kind of like your strong, solid root foundation. Building community around you with getting to know other Wild Tree representatives, showing up to different events. That's your solid root system, so that, you know, if a gust of wind comes, then you aren't going to get blown over. Okay, so then as we go over into the trunk, now we're kind of coming out of the ground and we have a nice thick solid trunk. Now what does that trunk entail? That trunk stands for your contact list. And your contact list, when you are brand new, I mean, my mind at least, was like overflowing with, oh my gosh, I could do this, I could do that, I know all these people and this people. You know, you go through your Facebook and you start to get so excited about all the people that eat, which is everybody that you know, right? And building that really solid foundational list of everybody that you know, and setting a goal of no less than 100 people on this contact list. So having a solid contact list is where you're going to basically start growing your business out of. Now, coming out of that contact list, as we teach you how to reach out to these people and invite them to learn more about Wild Tree, is going to be kind of 2 or 3 large branches that come right out of that trunk, okay? So if we think of a tree, let me think, here, I got a tree example over here I'm going to show you. If we think of a tree, and here's a tree, I'm just walking in my backyard, okay? So we have the nice, deep, solid root system underneath there. We have our contact list right there, and that nice, solid, thick trunk. And then see how coming out of the tree, there's like a couple of these like really big branches. Here he goes, a couple thick, big branches, okay? Now, those thick, big branches, those are going to be your first launch parties. Now, whether you decide that you want to launch with a tasting party or a workshop or a combo, I definitely recommend having at least 2 to 3 launch parties in which you can funnel people from your contact list into an opportunity to learn more about Wild Tree. So that's kind of the first kind of call to action for how are you going to share Wild Tree with people, is to book a couple parties that you host that you can have them experience Wild Tree, either in a workshop format or in a tasting format. Now, out of these thick branches, those first few parties, you're going to get bookings. And going back to here, okay, so here's like one of those big thick branches, and look, out of this booking, you get a couple other bookings, okay? These are other parties, and you meet a few more people at each of those parties. You know, you meet 10 people, and then you get another couple parties off of here. And now every once in a while, something like this will happen. All of a sudden, something happens, and here comes this party, and crack, it breaks, okay? We'll just pretend that broke off. What happened there? Well, maybe a party fell through, or maybe somebody joined your team and they're actually going to take that party now. You're going to give them that party and they're going to grow their own businesses, kind of like you franchising yourself. So that's not always a bad thing. But in order to grow into this nice, full, luscious tree at the top, you always need to have lots of kind of like irons in the fire, lots of opportunities and branches kind of branching out. And it really starts by having this nice solid foundation down here of root system, of course, and then a solid, thick contact list from which all of these branches can flourish into this nice big beautiful tree. And that's how solid and successful businesses are grown. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, gosh, why doesn't everybody know this? I mean, I know so many people that started in direct sales and they started a little bit and they never really did anything. I can guarantee you they did not have that solid root system. What we are teaching you to grow for yourself, and that we are here to support for you. I guarantee you they did not have a strategic approach to sharing the opportunity and sharing the products. They did not have that solid trunk that they worked from, or maybe they had it up in here but they never put it down on paper. That's so important, is to have that on paper or somewhere specific that you can go through and make sure nobody falls through the cracks, so that you can have those different avenues to grow from. And they probably didn't have those first opportunities, those big thick launch parties, those big thick trunks or branches that come out of the top of the trunk. They didn't have those opportunities for people to come. They just kind of started saying, oh leaf, oh leaf, oh leaf, oh leaf, all over here. You need to have that opportunity, because some people, as you call and invite them to your launch parties, they're going to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't come. Okay, so then looking at this tree, nope, they can't come, so they can't come to one of these big old branches. But you know what happens? They start their own little branch over here. And they say, I can't come, but I'd like to learn more about the Wild Tree Opportunity. Or maybe they say yes if you offer that to them. And you have these kind of like random rogue kind of branches that start off on the side, because those are some of your first hostesses, the people that can't come to your launch parties. So I hope this analogy makes sense to you. I hope you understand kind of the business case and the business model between why it's so important to not only have the solid foundation in your root structure, and why we do take the time here in your first week or so to really get you a solid understanding of and belief in what you're doing. And then you see the importance of really investing some time in having a nice thick solid trunk, because the bigger and the thicker that trunk is, the bigger foundation for the tree to grow upon. And having a solid contact list is where you're going to get that. So that's kind of the lesson for today. Start putting together your contact list. We're going to talk more about the specifics around that in this coming week, but you're probably already thinking, okay, who do I know? Who do I know that can benefit from Wild Tree, either as a customer or as a hostess or as the opportunity, or maybe somebody who just knows a lot of people as a referral source. We're going to talk more about that, but just grab a piece of paper, start writing down their names, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.